Hiya! Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl. Today is Monday, the 27th of July, 2020, and this is Stitch With Me, episode 15. Sorry, I had to look at the calendar. I'd like to say a big welcome back. Love you guys to all returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. Let me show you what I'm working on, and then we'll chat a little bit. So I am working on the third and final pattern from the Pusheen Cross Stitch Kit. The first two I have finished, and here is the third one. And this will be finished this episode. Just saying. So I'm going to start working on it, and I will talk to you. So I am doing this on the 14 count Ada that came with this kit. And using the floss that came with the kit, which is really crappy floss, and all of it has gone in the garbage except for this color that I'm finishing with, and then it will go in the garbage because it's crap. I wish I had realized that at the beginning, but I want to display these. I want to get I want to get 3 round, or maybe square. They're easier to finish on. Wooden pieces and paint them this color pink, and then mount them, and then mount all 3 of the wooden pieces on like a really wide, like a ribbon or fabric piece, and display them that way. So we shall see. So I was planning to record this yesterday. Oops. Sorry, I've changed the setup a little bit, and so I'm trying to make sure, I need to make sure and pay attention that my stitching is on screen. Trying to make it a little easier setup for me. I was planning to record this yesterday on Sunday because I was supposed to go out to the fiber mill that I work very part-time for today. But it is supposed to be here. It's supposed to be, I think, upper 80s, 86 or so. And out at the fiber mill, I think it was supposed to be even hotter. And we live on the Kitsap Peninsula in Washington State, and most places don't have air conditioning. So, yeah, it was going to be super hot out at the mill, and my fibromyalgia is very much triggered by heat and humidity. And so we made the decision to postpone me coming out to the mill till probably next week. It's supposed to be cooler next week. So, yeah. So we are doing everything we can to try to stay cool because it is way, way, way hot. Where we're from in Texas, it gets this hot and hotter, but almost everywhere has central air conditioning. So that's the difference. Why is this keep? There we go. One strand, I guess, is a little bit longer than the other, and it kept bubbling it. So yeah, so I am home today, trying to stay cool. Drinking lots of water, popsicles. We love sugar-free popsicles. And the like. Dammy made some cold brew, so we're going to have some cold brew after a while. All those things. Fans running. I had to turn off one of the fans because it was super, super loud on the audio of this video. So I will turn it back on as soon as I get done recording, as soon as I finish stitching this piece, because we are not leaving here until I am done. Okay? But I did want to tell you, because I had said that I didn't know what I was going to work on next, because I need something that's probably fairly small and fairly simple to work on, just because of how my setup is. And so I got out my I have a binder with all of my physical cross stitch patterns that I had put into sheet protectors, and then alphabetize them by pattern title because I'm organized like that. And so I found what I'm going to do next. I have not picked out fabric, but I don't need, what is going on here? The needle does not want to go in the hole. There we go. I have not picked out fabric yet, and I'm probably going to change some of the colors. There's only 3 colors of floss in the pattern, but I blew it up so that I can be able to see it better. So this is the pattern, Baba Black Sheep. It is a Prairie Schooler companion to book 187, Fables and Tales. And Michelle Bindi Stitchy sent me this. So I need to look. I'm probably going to do it on Ada. I know I have some scraps of Ada, so I need to figure that out and then figure out what colors I want to use. But it's very cute and it's small. It's only, I've got the pattern here. It's like 39 by 39. So it's a pretty small piece. And then what I plan to do is, in our living room, we have like these clotheslines kind of hung on the wall with things like clipped to them with small clothespins. And there's like cards and little prints and all kinds of stuff. And I have another sheep cross stitch that I actually did while we lived in Scotland. We went somewhere, I don't even remember where it was. It may have been one of our trips to North Berwick. But a little gift shop had this tiny kit of a sheep cross stitch, and then it has like a kind of cardstock frame around it. And so I think that's what I'm going to do, is do a similar cardstock frame around it just to make them kind of matchy-matchy and hang it up there. So, yeah, so that's what I'm planning to do with the Baba Black Sheep when it is finished. Obviously, I will be using black for the sheep because it says Baba Black Sheep. But just depending on the fabric that I have, what color it is will determine what other colors I use. So, like I said, it's only 3 colors, so it's not a big deal. What is going on in life? Well, as you may have noticed at the top of the show, we have officially changed over to our new kind of rebranding of the name to GGKCS. And if you have missed it, the reason we did that is because Dammy, who is my 20-year-old adult child, came out as non-binary and a lesbian. And so geeky girls, didn't fit anymore. And we talked about changing out that second G to give it a different, make it be a different word, but we couldn't find one that we liked. And so what we ended up doing was just deciding to go by the acronym. All right, so here's the last of the long rows. And so we have spent quite a bit of time the last week or so trying to get it up everywhere. I know there is still one place definitely that I've got to change, which is our YouTube channel page, the header image, but I keep getting an error message when I try to change it. So that is one place that has not been changed yet. Okay, I am on this row. I'm going to complete the X's as I go across, since once I get over here, there's just this part left. So I think that is going to be the better option versus doing the bottom leg and then coming back across with the top. So, yeah, so we've been changing it all the places. The website link is now ggkcs.com. We will still keep geekygirlsknit.com just because we've had that for 8 years. and it directs, it'll direct you to the same place. So, but we have purchased the GGKCS.com link, and that also takes you to our show notes. And we don't plan to go back through all 400 plus regular episodes, and now, this is episode 15 of Stitch With Me, and change all the links and images and everything, because that would just take too long. But, and I have other things to do. But we are going to try to change at least the last few, so that they are accurate. I might even try to do just maybe all of 2020, because that would be, I think, a good point. I'm trying to rethread my needle because it came out just as I was trying to finish that stitch. I have another strand over here waiting to finish it out because I knew I would not have enough of this strand to finish. So that has been keeping us busy trying to get all of that done. Dammy is halfway through their science classes that they're taking through the local community college. So 4 more weeks to go on that. And I know they'll be very glad to be done with it. So we still are not 100% sure whether Dammy's university, regular university, will be meeting in person or online for the autumn quarter. About a month or so ago, they announced it would be in person, but, things are changing for lots of places, and there have been some universities and schools locally who have made the decision to do online. So we feel like that's probably is what's going to happen. But we don't know for sure, 100% sure yet. So, anything else? Life? Not that I can think of. So, goodness gracious, what am I doing here? There we go. I did not want to go through the hole. So, what is going on there? Who knows? I really, really, really do not like this floss. At all. But it is what it is. So let's answer a few hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts, which I used this book that I got from Barnes & Noble, 300 writing prompts. I got it because I thought I was going to journal using it, but I decided not to. And I answered 2 or 3 or 4 sometimes, depending on the intensity or whatever you want to call it, how verbose I am answering them, and just answer through some of them instead of writing answers to them. And if you want to answer them in the comments or want to use them on your FlossTube, feel free. Just use the hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts. Okay, here we go. First one. If you had unlimited time and money, what would you do to help your friends and family? What about strangers? Well, I would pay off my family's mortgages, student loans, car notes, all of that. I would pay all that off for all of my family and close friends. I I think that as for strangers, I think I would want to, I would like to use time and money to do some kind of nonprofit. Probably something in the arena of chronic illness, because I live with several, and just providing support to family and friends, as well as the person with chronic illnesses, to help support them living as full a life as possible. Yeah. I also would like to, and I may have mentioned this before, jokingly, but there are friends who we have talked sometimes seriously, sometimes not so seriously, but of this dream of having property that we all live together, kind of commune style, which commune sometimes can have negative connotations to it, but just, to be able to live together and build a community together, of helping to support each other. And, I can't think of what podcast it was that I was listening to. I've been listening to several different podcasts recently, but they were talking about how it used to be that we did not count on our immediate family, spouse, partner, and kids to provide everything for us. We used to live in community. We used to, that saying of it takes a village to raise a child. That's how we used to live, and that's not how we really live anymore. And it would be amazing to be able to live together with our chosen family, and live in that style of life of where we're all helping each other and supporting each other, and I think it would just be amazing. So I would want to do that too. I would like to be able to fund living commune style with our chosen family. So that would be pretty awesome, you guys. I'm getting so close to the end here. Okay, let's see. The next question. When was the last time you pulled an all-nighter? Why did you do it? How did you feel afterwards? So I'm not going to count traveling, because if that's the case, it would have been when we moved back here to the U.S. from Scotland. And obviously it's a super long journey. And yeah. Prior to that, trying to think, I want to see. I am pretty sure prior to that, the last time I would have pulled an all-nighter would have been while I was a hospital chaplain. So when I was a hospital chaplain before I got sick, good grief, come on, go in there. I worked for, it was two hospitals that were connected together, an adult hospital and a children's hospital. And we had a chaplain on site 24/7. So probably 5, 6 or so times a month, I would be on site as the chaplain 24 hours for an full overnight shift. Obviously on the weekend it was longer, but during the week, we had chaplains on staff on, business hours, and then we had somebody then we would rotate who would be overnight. We did have a sleep room. You guys, there's only 2 stitches left. We had a sleep room, and some nights I would get a full night's sleep, but some nights that did not happen. We were required to respond to any code calls that would happen. So anytime a patient in the hospital, in either hospital, coded, a chaplain would report to provide support to family, friends, and staff of the patient. And then we would also respond to other calls as needed. You guys, it's done. So that would have been my last overnight, or all-nighter. Would have been one of those calls one of those times when I was on site as the on-call chaplain. So, where are my scissors? It's done, it's done. Look at that. I'm so excited. So now I'm just going to talk to you, and you can just look at my beautiful pushing. How did I feel afterwards? Always, always. Even if it was a slow night and I didn't respond to many calls, I always felt exhausted, because you're not, even if you got to sleep in the sleep room, you're not in your own bed. You're not with your family, and just the stress of it. So we would always, if it was during the week that we were on call, we would be sent home at noon the next day. Weekend, you worked a full 24-hour shift. I worked like 60 to 80-hour weeks when I was a chaplain. So, it was rough. It was rough. But being there to support the patients and the families and the friends and the staff, I miss that work so much. I really, really do. Okay, let me go ahead and answer one more, because we're only at like 23 minutes here. What is your favorite holiday ornament or decoration? What makes it so special to you? I can't show it to you because it's packed up. Maybe, I think I have pictures of it. If I do, I'll try to put them in here. If not, I'm just going to describe it to you. So a number of years ago, before we went to Scotland even, I knit this Christmas decoration, and I started it, and then I finished it, I believe. Did I finish it while we were in Scotland or just before we went to Scotland? Anyway, so it's been a number of years, because we went to Scotland in 2013. So, but it was this pattern called, I think it was called like Itty Bitty Garland or something like that. But it's tiny mittens that you use to make an advent calendar. And we never used it as an advent calendar. We just use it as decoration. But I did not use traditional Christmas colors. I used bright colors. So there's pinks and yellows and turquoises, white. So I used, I think, 3 different yarns, and alternated which one I used to make the mittens. And then I attached little like plastic medallions with the, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. For the advent calendar. And we just display it on the wall every year. And I think that's my favorite, because I actually made it. I knit all 25 of those mittens. Teeny tiny little mittens. But also it's been with us for a while. It was one of the few things that we took to Scotland with us when we moved. We did not ship anything over. The only things we brought to Scotland was what we could take on the plane. So obviously clothing, some of Russ's books that he needed for school, knitting stuff, because I wasn't cross stitching at the time. Yeah, so there was, we all had very, we were very choosy about what we took, and so there was not much that we took with us, and that was one of them, because it didn't take up a lot of space, and so we decided to take that with us. And yeah, it just makes me happy when I see it displayed, and I just, think back to knitting all those little mittens, and, think of, they were with us in Texas, and then they were with us in Scotland, and now up here in Washington, and so they've traveled with us a lot, and have just been a part of Christmas for the last, I don't know, 7-ish years. So we're pretty simple people. We don't have a lot of stuff. When we first married, that was not true. We had a ton of stuff. But now we don't, none of us really have a whole lot of stuff. Like most of my stuff that is not clothing is craft related, whether it's, yarn obviously behind me, cross stitch stuff, some books, crafty books. We do have a lot of cutesy things that we hang on the wall. Like, you can't totally see all of these, but we have that's our decorations. I don't think we have a single like framed something. Well, there's some framed things in the kitchen, but they came that way. They're like, one of them says it's always time for coffee. But they came that way. Most of our decorations are stuff like this, very cutesy stuff that we have gotten from other creative people, or that we have made. I have a painting that a friend did. We have a complete wall. Like, when you watch our regular weekly podcast FlossTube episodes, the wall that is behind us in the most recent videos, since Dammy's been home, or when Dammy is home from college, is in the, you can't see it all when we're recording, but it's got in the center of it, it has a shadow box that has tickets and such from different things that we did in Scotland and traveling while we were there. And then all around it is postcards. That's what we got as souvenirs places, is postcards. And so we have like this display of our time in Scotland, and just different things like that. So that's kind of, that is what we have a lot of, is things like that. But it's all stuff that, for the most part, that's flat, that you can easily pack and take with you places. So, yeah, so, I don't know I don't know how I got on that topic. Oh, I guess just because, like, like I was saying, we're simple people, and so, that mitten garland, Advent garland, is just special to us, and so, yeah, I think that's probably my favorite holiday decoration. So, alrighty, well, I think we're going to stop there. That was 3 prompts, #CC Stitch With Me prompts. I finished Pusheen. Huzzah! Next week when I record, I will be starting on the Baba Black Sheep from Prairie Schooler. I will pick fabric and flosses for that. This pattern, so like here you're seeing this. The actual pattern is about that big. It's a very like small kind of business card size, and my eyes are very old. I had to blow it up. So that makes it easier for y'all to see too. So I blew it up on our printer so that I could be able to see it. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there. I will tell you that you can find us online at ggkcs.com, and there are links to everywhere where else we are online. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry, etc. And we will be back with you again the episode will go live on Friday for our regular podcast /FlossTube episode. And I'll be back again with you next week for a Stitch With Me. I hope y'all have a really great week. Stay cool. Make sure you're staying hydrated. I can tell it's been a half an hour since I've had something to drink. Yeah, stay hydrated, stay cool, stay safe, wear your masks, please, please, please. And we hope you have a really great week ahead. And Dammy and I will see you later in the week. Until then, happy crafting. Bye.